Imagine you're on an island with your entire team, right? You guys are having the best time ever. You're chilling. You got palm trees. You got water around you, drinks in your hand. You're having the absolute time of your life. Things are fun. Everything's going so smooth. Everything's really well. Now, imagine if every single one of your team members was straight chilling. They're good. They're taken care of. They're happy. They're enjoying it. And life is good. Life is amazing on this little island. Now, let's say you went over here. You had to go off the island, right? This is you. And what I want you to ask right now is, which of your team members would you want to take off the island with you to come back to doing what you're doing right now? And keep in mind, you guys are chilling, right? They're having fun. There's smiley faces over here. Everyone's chilling. They're taken care of. They are good. They are good. They'd be happy if they stayed there, right? Who would you actively want to bring with you off of the island? So keep in mind, you'll ruin their fun because they're having a good time. Like they are set. They're taken care of. Who would you actually want to bring back with you? Take a second to think about that. And the answer should be pretty clear. There should be 1, 2, 3, 4, 10 names that come up. But there's also some that you're like, you know what? Like, maybe I'd leave them on the island. If they're having a good time, they're happy over there. Like, you know what? Maybe that's best off. And right there, you just made the decision very clear of what you need to do moving forward with your team. And in this video, I'm going to break down my hiring process, what I look for with attracting very good team members. And hopefully this can help you, look for current team members that might not be a best fit, that don't belong here anymore, and future team members, how to make the right hires based on multiple factors. So with that said, let's get into it. There's really two things that I look for. And so they're the two C's. One is competence, right? Can they actually do the job? Are they good at the thing that I'm hiring them to do, right? Have they done this before? And if the answer is no, then there's your answer, right? And so I want to make sure that they are competent, they're good, and I don't have to babysit them. Now, keep in mind, as you grow, as you grow, you're going to be able to attract higher quality people, right? As you grow, then you'll be able to bring more people into your orbit. So if you're just starting out, it's you're probably going to have to tolerate low competence to some degree, and probably assume that you can't afford and can't attract the best people in the world because they want to work for companies that are big and booming, right? And so when it comes to competence, there's three things that I really look for here, right? A is KPIs. So key performance indicators. These are basically in English, it's can they hit the numbers that you need to hit, right? Can they book X amount of calls if it's an appointment setter? Can they maintain a certain percentage closing rate or cash collected if they're a closer? Can they maintain a certain net promoter score if they're a client success manager, or YouTube interviews scheduled, or wins posted in the community, right? Can they actually hit the KPIs that you need to hit in order to achieve your goals as a business, right? Next up is standards. This is different from KPIs because standards are how they operate as a human being, right? These are, do they send their invoices on time or do they not? Do they complete end of day reports or do they not? Do they slip on the standards and are they sloppy? And so you want to ask questions in the interview process to really determine this. But then also the reason why I led with this little analogy here that one of my buddies mentioned to me this morning at breakfast is if you have people in the team that are dropping the standards, then they might not belong there, right? But keep in mind, your team is just a reflection of you as a leader. So if your standards are low, then you need to raise them if you want your team to raise your standards. And then finally, proactivity. This is a huge one for me. And so if you want to build a team of action takers versus order takers, this is how you do it, right? You want to make sure that they are proactive. They're going to take action. They're going to be doing things without asking you permission to do or without waiting for you to tell them to do things. I've had order takers in the team not only does it kind of piss me off because I'm an action taker and I don't like tolerating order takers, and I want people to just like, hey, like, here's your job, like, fucking do it, you know? And like, I don't want to babysit, hold hands, or anything like that. I'm a visionary. I'm not so much the integrator type. And so I don't want to be stuck in the weeds babysitting people, right? And so with that said, like, I want to get a gauge for how proactive they actually are. Are they coming up with new ideas and rolling them out and implementing them? Or are they just kind of waiting for orders and sitting back? And so these are a few of the things that I really look for, like for my team members. And so, like, for example, my the current setter right now, he used to, like, he went to an Ivy League school, dropped out, and did cold calling for 6 months. It's like, you gotta be a pretty damn good action taker and proactive and have high standards, be able to actually hit numbers if you're going to be cold calling and like successful at it and do it for a long time, right? That tells me he's not afraid to get his hands dirty. That's exactly what I'm looking for, right? Now, step number 2, competence. Now we've got culture, right? Will I actually like working with this person? So competence, again, is can they do the job? And then culture is, will I like them as they do the job? And one of my clients, Tom, he's a executive leadership coach. He really laid this out super simply and super clearly. And this is what he looks for, right? Can they do the job? Will they like doing the job? And will I like working with them? And so some of the things I look for when it comes to culture is the values, right? What are my core values as a person? What are my core values as an entrepreneur, as a business owner? And what values do I expect my team to also have? And usually like attracts like. You usually attract similar people to you that share similar values, that see the world a little bit differently, right? That's why every community is different, because every community shares different values. And guess what? Your team is just a community, whether it's just you, whether you have one team member or 10 or 100, it doesn't matter, right? And what is like the values are the glue that brings the whole company together. And so I want to make sure that this person actually has the right values and we align there, because if there's no alignment with our core values, then disagreements are going to come up and things aren't there, there's going to be a lot of friction. And it's the same thing with any relationship, right? And so the second one here is energy, right? What kind of energy do they bring to the team? Do they kind of like weigh people down? Are they kind of like a Debbie Downer? Or do they just like complain a bunch? Or are they like, all right, boys, let's fucking go. Like, let's get some calls in the calendar today. Let's get some like, what's the energy that they bring to the table? And this one's very intangible. It's hard to touch and feel it, but like physically, but you can feel it internally, emotionally, spiritually, right? What's their energy like? Get a read on that. And that will give you a really good idea on like, will they be a culture fit, right? Me personally, I don't like being around people who who are negative or who blame the world around them, who don't take ownership. And like, you can feel that energy when people say that, and just the way they talk about things, the way they talk about difficult times in their past. Do they blame others? Do they blame themselves? What is it, right? And then the last one here is likability. Do I actually like them as a person, right? And so if we go back to our little island up here, like, let's say I was on this island with the team, like, would I actually enjoy hanging out with them? And a lot of the most successful companies that I know, like, their team fucking loves each other. They're like, it's like the boys, right? Now, obviously, like, I'm a dude, so I have that like camaraderie, right? If you're a woman watching this, like, it's the same vibe, but just different, right? Same, like, different packaging on the same thing inside, right? And like, I know female teams that are the exact same thing, right? So take that with a grain of salt, but you get the idea, right? It's like, do I actually like working with this person? Do I like them as a human being? Are they like a brother to me? Do I want to go to war with them, right? And if I don't respect them and like them, then like, chances are they probably won't stick around for very long. And so this is the framework that I really look for, and how I interview, how I hire, and also how I determine who to keep on the team, right? And so all the time I'm kind of just asking myself, I'm like, okay, if we're stuck, we're not growing. It's like, why? What's going on here? Where's a mismatch? Or even worse, when you start to feel resentment. I felt there's been seasons where I feel like resentful towards like my business and my team. I'm like, oh, I don't actually like really like the people that I'm working with right now, or like the energy's off, or like core values are like kind of broken and they're not aligned, or people aren't taking action, their standards are lower and they're just kind of sloppy, and then we're not hitting numbers. And when all of these things start to crumble, the whole business falls apart too. And then you start to hate your business. And what's worse than an entrepreneur who hates their business? Fucking nothing, right? That's the worst thing in the world, because we started a business to actually enjoy it and to like it. And so what I want you to do at the end, like to take away with you from this video, is understand and write down a list of names. Who would I take away from the island and take away, like, and remember, like, they're chilling, they're good, they're happy over there. They'll stay there for the rest of their life if they can, right? But who are you taking off that island to bring back in your company to get to work? Treat those people well, compensate them well, incentivize them well, give them lots of responsibility, pour into them, invest into them, train them up. Everyone else, well, maybe they don't belong on your ship. So with that said, if you want help to build a team that you actually enjoy, where you have competent weapons and people that you actually love, and build a really strong team culture, book a call down below, links in the description of the video, or shoot me a DM on Instagram. I would love to help. I take on a few one-on-one clients every now and then, and there's a lot of the high-level stuff that we talk about in my mastermind as well. So if you're kind of more on the advanced side and you're looking for a little bit deeper help and deeper support, then that might be a great option for you. And just let us know. But with that said, I'll see you in the next video. Bye.